Gaspar? Winston nodded his head slowly. He felt all a jumble again. He'd seen her kind, lovely face so clearly and had recognised it immediately. He'd known it by heart. But where was she? He knew, just knew, she was out there somewhere. The mice put their heads together. There were new clues now. The peppermint was a mystery, but the rustling paper sounds? Were you born in a box shop? Asked a mouse, her large necklace of sugared almonds jangling in excitement. There's that lovely higgledy-piggledy one down by the river. I sneak there for the recipe books. Winston certainly liked the sound of that. But the problem was the mystery language. He just had a feeling, a strong feeling, that she wasn't from Paris. Tiny Mouse pushed his way to the front of the group. He was wearing large spectacles that kept sliding down his nose. "Excuse me," he squeaked, bowing politely. "My name is Llyfrgell. I have a friend who lives in an enormous library with thousands of books in hundreds of languages. I think she could help you find the language your mum is singing." Winston's cheeks flushed pink with excitement. "Is the library nearby?" he asked. "Ah," said Louis. "Well, you see, the library is actually in Germany." Winston let out a tiny groan. Germany? That was a whole other country, and a big country at that. That meant another long journey, and he didn't have an envelope to write in this time. How would he get there? Everyone thought very hard, but it was Coco Gâteau who came up with a solution. This bakery is very famous and sends macaroons all over the world. Look! She pointed to the towering pile of macaroon gift boxes in the corner. They were mint green with swirly gold writing on them. "We could pop you one of those and send you straight to the library. And," added Louis, "you could deliver some cake to my friend for me." Winston thought this was a marvellous idea. "But will I make it to the post office before the post leaves?" he flustered. "Non," a ginger-coloured mouse who worked in a patisserie near the post office. "The post office left hours ago, but you could always get a train. Big train, loaded with goods, leaves for Germany in about 20 minutes. Winston was in a tiz. How could I make the train if I had to run there in a giant box? Suddenly, Gaspar leaped to his feet. He flicked his ears back, stuck out his lilac chest, then said in a very grand voice, "I will take you." His eyes were sparkling with the thrill of an adventure. The mice cheered and set to work. Within a few moments, Winston found himself tucked neatly into a macaroon box, which had been piled with cakes for the journey. An address was hastily written on top, and it was time to leave. He called his goodbyes from inside the box, and then Gaspar set off, out through the patisserie window and onto the streets. Gaspar ran as fast as his little lilac legs could take him. Through the air, holes poked into the box. Winston felt the chill of the icy air and heard the slushy snow splash as Gaspar raced through it. This fur must be filthy, Winston thought, but he knew Gaspar wouldn't mind. This is what his friend had been dreaming of, a high-speed chase through the night. Soon, Gaspar bounded through the train station doors and slid wildly across the polished floor, skidding and zigzagging through the crowds. "There it is," squeaked Winston, peering out from his box. Gaspar ran towards the train, but as he did, it started to pull away. Spotting that one of the doors was still slightly open, Poole threw the macaroon box into the air and then kicked it with his paws, hurling the box towards the train. Winston twirled round and round before landing with a thud on top of a crate in the last carriage. In the distance, Gaspar barked, "Au revoir!" his whole body fizzing with delight. Winston carefully opened the box and stuck his head out to enjoy the crisp air streaming in from the gap in the door. All around him were crates, filled to the brim with brown paper packages tied up with string. Winston marvelled at them all, thinking how each had been picked and wrapped and sent to someone special who cared about. Then suddenly his heart filled with wonder at the thought that he now had someone special who cared for him. Two, in fact. Oliver and his mum. Perhaps he had a whole family he didn't know about too. Winston thought about this as he munched his way through the treats the mice had given him to snack on. Then, lulled by the rumbling motion of the train, he finally fell asleep. The following morning, Winston woke as the train pulled into the new station. The crate in which he was riding was lifted down and parcels sorted into huge bags. Winston felt excited that he'd soon solve his very curious mystery. Then disaster happened. In the bustle of the station, someone bumped into the sack holding Winston's box. It fell over and a parcel split out everywhere. A flustered man hurried to pick them up, but before he could grab the little macaroon box, it was accidentally kicked and sent skidding across the busy station floor. It crashed into a shadowy corner by some bins and Winston tumbled out. He started to panic. How could he get delivered to the library now? Suddenly, he heard something move behind him. He turned round and squeaked in alarm. From the darkness, he was being watched by two beady amber eyes.